It was like a relic men, like Arabs,
Oh,
and they was having like a little meeting,
cookout.
a meeting, no
Oh.
food or nothing. They was having a meeting or something, and I was there, and the man was like looking at me, like to like me. So it seemed like I was like liking that. And I was like, so he was there. He was like a big prestige man. He was talking. He was, let's say, the president of that country, and he was talking to them, and so then so I don't know. It just seemed like the moment changed where he got so engrossed in his work, in his meeting, that he wasn't paying me no mind. Because all before he was paying me mind, he'll talk and then he'll look at me, and then he'll go back and talk and he'll look at me. And so I was going somewhere, but I was like, all right, he looked like he liked me, so I'm gonna wait around. You know this a dream, because you know Nana don't do that. So after a while, whatever he was talking about or whatever he was in became very important, and he wasn't paying me no mind. So now it's time for me to go. I have to leave now, and I'm looking at him to see whether he's gonna pay attention to me, and we'll meet up somewhere. But he was so engrossed in what he was doing, so I said, "Well, let me go." So it seemed like, and this is the scary part of it. It seemed like where I was, there was no, there was a whole bunch of sand. Like you know how you see them movies where it's just sand and you gotta walk to wherever you're going. That's how it was. I mean, there was a car there. I don't know whether it was my car or not, but as I walked away from him, everything started changing. So now I'm in all this sand and also I'm walking. So the dream switch, and it seemed like I'm in their city. Not nothing like New York, but I'm in the city part of their country, and there's houses and whatever. So now I'm walking. People looking at me, but they not really paying me no mind. But they dress like the relics. They got them things on their head and all that, right? So I ain't even thinking of them. I'm just walking, walking. And, but it seemed like over here was New York, and over here was that country. So I was I had did a little turn, and that turn took me out from New York. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta find my way. Where am I going? So I'm turning, and so I went through like this alleyway, right? And when I turned the alleyway, it was like women, and somehow I went inside their little house. They had a little apartment, and so then when I came back out, I looked up and I saw the sign. It's crazy.
What?
I look up and saw war, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where I was, they was in war, and I'm walking. What's the name of that country? Ukraine or something?
Uh-huh.
So I'm finding. I looked up and I said, wait a minute, why am I over here? So I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't let nobody know that I'm a New Yorker. So now I'm really trying. I'm not running,
Yeah.
but I'm walking real fast, trying to find my way back to New York. Right?
No, you can't find your back. You got to take a boat.
I know, but in the dream, it was like soil. Like when you switch over to this soil, you back in New York, and you could be on this soil, you in a relic, wherever that is. So Arab, right? So now I'm trying to find. I'm turning, and I'm noticing people starting to look at me, and I'm saying to myself, I said, I gotta get out of here, because next you know they be done capturing me and stuff like that.
Saying you're not constantly.
I said, oh my goodness, that was scary, scary. Not scary, scary, but it was scary because I was like, how did I get here? Oh my goodness, I just did one little turn and I was in there. And then I wake up and in my head, I'm hearing the news. They talking about, what was they talking about? They was talking about
Russia.
starvation and there's no, in Africa. The people in Africa, they ain't got no food. The gas is $16 out there in Africa. and they ain't got they barely make $1. So those people that got cars can't drive because they can't buy the gas because they ain't got no money. And they showed the land like in the dream where it was nothing but where they said there was a river, and the river ain't no more river. It's just dirt.
Dirt.
And they saying that river is the river that flows to help them feed their cows and all that stuff.
And they got no water.
And they ain't got no water, right? They ain't
All
got
the
no
water is dirty water.
Ain't no water. They ain't got no water. That's what I just said. The river that was supposed to supply the water is dried up. It's nothing but dirt. And they said that the cattle, they ain't got no food. They ain't got no food. And the only way they get to eat food if the cattle die. So they said that a cow died. So that's how they was able to eat. Other than that, they ain't get no food. I'm like, so that went into my dream. I like went into their world in the dream.
Oh, you went to what they felt like. So you went. I will tell you what country you went in.
What country?
The first country, it said wall. It was Arab. They have a separate wall, not with Ukraine, with their own country.
Oh, Arab?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they fight among themselves.
Yeah, because some people, because the army and the people, not because the government is telling what they do, taking their money and stuff, not giving them nothing to do. So you must have been in Africa with all that stuff.
Yeah. But see, with Africa, my aunt, the one that passed away a long time ago, the bishop of the church, she went to Africa. The Lord sent her to Africa to witness to them, to tell them about God, and to, witness and tell them that there is a God. Because, Africa they don't celebrate God. They don't reverence him. They don't acknowledge that he is the Almighty God. And they have their own gods. They got witchcraft going on over there.
What's that?
I know I'm getting caught. It's witch. There we go. I'm pronouncing like with the aura. Rich. No, it's witchcraft.
Oh,
you heard right? Witchcraft. Yeah, I was pronouncing it wrong. See, that's why I be telling you pronounce your word, because I was pronouncing with the aura, but it's not witchcraft. It's with the W and the H. Well, not even W-H, it's W-I, witch. Yeah.
It's W-H.
No, ain't witch W-I-T-C-H?
Huh?
W-I-T-C-H is witch.
I think, yeah.
So that's why it's that ch. So they do witchcraft in there. They do rituals. They kill animals. They kill people. And God didn't like that. So God sent her over there to tell them that, and tell them that they need to turn to God. And they refused. They refused. And she said that, because they eat animals. So she said that they brought a bull head to her. And in their country, only the prestige people eat the head of the animal. All the other people eat the leg and all that other stuff. But the head is saved for the big, whoever the ruler is or whatever. So they brought her the head because they consider her to be a ruler. And so she sat there and she ate it. She was telling them when she came back, she said, Lord Jesus, she said, I didn't know what I was eating. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. She said, but the Bible said that if anything's set before you, eat it. So she's saying the Bible says you can eat any deadly thing and it won't hurt you. So, but she came back and told us that they refused to acknowledge God. So they will always be cursed. They would never have food. They would never come out of that poverty. Never come out of that poverty. And that's why they like them.
You know the African lady on that bus?
African lady on what bus? On what bus?
Talk about the Chinese.
She wasn't African. She was Jamaican. Is that part of Africa?
No.
Jamaican's not part of. Yeah, she was Jamaican. She had a Jamaican. You know, Africans talk about who, boom. How they talk. They talk. Dang, your mother and auntie can really. They can do it. Let me see them think. No, I can't do it. Dang, they talk. Sometimes I can do it and sound like them, but I can't do it. I can't do it now. But they have a different accent from Jamaicans. Jamaicans is I can do the accent of Jamaican. I wish they come on with McCarthy now. Me want McCarthy. Why they taking so long with McCarthy? You know, yeah. So that's the Western. That's the Western. That's the Indian side of them. But yeah, that's what she said. So a lot of every time I see those videos, I see the commercials about the children with the big stomach in Ethiopia and all. That's because they refuse to. They refuse. The kids are suffering, and the Bible says that the kids will suffer because of the parents' sins. And these are probably things that my aunt was telling them, witnessing to them. But you know, African people is real tough. They really believe. That's why they magic be working and they putting voodoo on people and people be dying. Different things be happening because the power of the devil is so strong. It doesn't outweigh the power of God because God is the strongest because he's the Almighty. But what he does is that he allows the enemy to do these things. So when a city, a state, or a country becomes so involved that they want to involved in the devil that they want to serve the devil, God backs off and let the devil do their work. Because go ahead. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. Because God does not do anything evil. He's not an evil God. I hear a lot of people. I've heard people say, "Oh, God did this. God's supposed to be a loving God. God is the one that made that person die. God is the one that no. God does not. I want you to understand this too. God does not. If anything bad happens to you, it's because you caused it on yourself, number one. Or, number two, God is trying to get your attention. So what he does, let's say this is God, and this is the devil. And this is you. And you doing what you doing. And the devil is about right here to you. So we're going to say half of the phone, right? And he's controlling you, right? Here come God, and he wants to help you. But you either don't know how to give in to him and allow him, which is only obedience. It's all about being obedient. Once you be obedient to God, God will be there for you. And the devil comes even more. So what God will keep trying. He'll keep trying. He'll talk to you. He'll send somebody. He'll send along one of his servants to talk to you. So be right here between the devil, and he'll come there and he'll talk to you. You don't want to listen. The devil will slowly knock him out of the way. Boom. He's no longer into your life. No longer talking to you. So then God will move completely. This is you. So God will move completely out of the picture. And now the devil gets you. So now what you have to do in order to get the devil off of you, you got to start praying and repenting and crying. And as you're doing that, the devil will slowly. Now, you're not saved now. You're not like Nana yet. You're not saved yet. But God will come in there and he will stand. And he'll send somebody there in between to keep the enemy from you. And so, that's how it was with Sodom and Gomorrah. That's how it was with Noah. That's how it was with Jonah.
David.
The people did not want to serve God. They didn't want to listen. They was doing whatever they wanted to do. And God sent Jonah. And Jonah didn't want to do it. And he ran away. And he said, I'm not going. And he going to go on the boat and go to sleep. He getting on the boat with the boat going all the way over, we're going to say to Africa. And he's supposed to go to California. So he going, Africa's way on the other side of the world. So while he over there, he on the boat, and the boat going, and the boat going, and the boat going, and the storm coming, and he in the bottom of the boat sleep. He don't even know the boat moving. The people on the boat start crying out to their God, not the God that Jonah served. Because back then people they served their own gods. They start crying out to their God, and apparently ain't nothing happened because the boat's still moving, the storm's still. So they going, I guess whoever's checking the boat, they go check and they see Jonah on the boat sleep. Yo, wake up. You need to pray to your God because we don't know why we got this storm, and this storm needs to stop. You need to pray to your God. Jonah tells them, just throw me overboard. I know what's happening. What you mean you know what's happening? Well, I'm supposed to go over here to California, and I don't want to go to California. Why you don't want to go to California? What's going on in California? Well, I was told to go to California and witness to them and tell the people to change their ways because God wants to save them. So the people on the boat was like, oh, so you mean to tell me we going through the storm because of you? Yeah, just throw me overboard. Just throw me over the water. Go on, throw me. They didn't really want to throw him over. All right. Shoot. Throw him right over there in the water. And when he went going down,
a fish ate him.
A fish. God had the fish there. And he sat in the belly. And reading up on a well, they said there's no oxygen in the well. The well does not have no type of air. That's why he always has to come to the top of the water and spurt out.
To get air.
To get air, that's right. So Jonah, just think, that's how you know it was God. Because Jonah was in the well for, do you know how many days?
3.
Okay. He was in there for 3 days. He was in the pit belly of the well. And they said that the belly, reading up on the well, the belly of the well is about a certain amount of feet that can hold a human being.
Like the size of a house.
Okay. So he was in there, and he stayed down in there, and he came to a little bit of his senses, that's all. And he prayed to God, asked God to take him out or however it was. And God allowed the well to spurt him out. And he came out that little thing. And
I forgot what the name.
Yeah, he came out of that and landed on the land. And he went and told the people what God said. But he was jealous. He was jealous. It's so crazy. Because we don't have to be jealous of God. God is a jealous God. He doesn't want, his jealousy is geared around people serving other gods. It's not like our human jealousy. Our human jealousy, if somebody have a nice car, they jealous because they got the nice car if they can't get the car. If they can't get a car, they want to get a better car. So God's jealousy is not like that. God's jealousy is based on royalty, loyalty, and being that people have a tendency of serving other gods. That makes him jealous because God know who he is. It's just like you know how to do a job and somebody come along and want to do it and they making a mess and you already know they making a mess, but the person that hired them don't want to admit that the person making a mess and that you can do the job. So that's how God is. God know that he can do anything. He is the one that can control the world, serving the world, stop the wars, clean up diseases, no disease. We can live in a clean, free, no disease world. He has that power. And when somebody feels like they want to reverence another idol, They take this Purell and be like, "This is my God," and start praying to it. What is this going to do? It can't do nothing. First of all, it can't even breathe. It don't have no type of life in it. So God is angry with that. So, making a long story short, that in wisdom to you, always acknowledge God, remember Him. They say in all His word says, in all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. So you try your best to do what's right. I don't care, and you know I've told you this before, I don't care what your friends do. I don't care what the girl do that you like. You do what's right. And if somebody that's in your crowd is doing wrong, you get away from that. I don't care if you like the girl. If the girl is wrong, if she trying to get you to do wrong, come on, Damani, let's go over here and let's go into this person's house and let's take this out. Come on, Damani. Person house. That's stealing, robbing. So you tell them, no, I don't do that. That's wrong. Well, all right. You go inside the store. You say, man, how much money you got, Damani? Well, I only got $5. Well, you see that? I want. Let's say it's a shirt, and it's $20. I want that shirt. You gonna get that shirt for me, baby? You gonna get that for me? Tell them no, cause that's stealing. But I thought you loved me. Yes, I can still love you without stealing. I don't have to steal. That doesn't prove that I love you. That just proves how stupid I am. Because if I get locked up, you going to run away from me and leave me with the cop.
Take the house.
Exactly. And they'll be like, no, I'm not going to do that, baby. I'm going to be there for you. Excuse me. No, I'm not stupid. When I get paid, because you are a working man, when I get paid, I'll get you the shirt.
I see not working.
Well, to be honest, women ain't supposed to work. Women ain't supposed to work. To be honest, biblically in the Bible, the women is supposed to be fruitful, multiply, have children, take care of the husband, take care of the home, and take care of the kids. The man, see, remember I told you way back Adam and Eve sinned? God put the curse on them, and that is their curse. The man is supposed to go out there and work. Yes, a lot of women is working. You know why women is working? Because the man don't want to work. They want to get a man that don't want to do nothing, and the man want to sit down and flip channels and get up and go in there and get the food, eat up all the food, and the woman got to go out there and work because she decided that she wants to get a man that don't want to do nothing. But that is not from the beginning of the time. Beginning of the time, the man. So remember that. Do not ever get a hold of a woman and you get that woman out there working. You be a responsible man. You take care of that woman. And don't you be shacking up with no woman. I don't know why I'm telling you this. But don't you be shacking up with no woman. Oh, I love her. Come on, baby. Come live with me. And you all up in the house. Y'all living in the bed. Y'all having sex all together. No, that is against biblical rights. Now, things happen. I'm not going to say that you, because if you ain't saved, I'm not going to say that you going to be walking around here and not doing your thing because you want to wait
until you get married.
That's what you're supposed to do. That way you stay away from all type of diseases. Not to say that you won't get none. Not to say that your mate won't be faithful. But you make sure you faithful. You don't be out there. Once you find somebody that you like, that's who you deal with. And you should always have in your head that I want to get married. If you meet a girl, you look for married material. Don't look at them because they look good or they got a nice body or whatever. Because when they start getting my age, you see what happens. They start losing things. So if you marry a woman because they look good, because they got good hair, because they got good eyes, because they got good teeth, all this other stuff, eventually, if it's meant to be, those things are going to start deteriorating. And then you marry to the person and you wake up one morning and be, wait a minute, who you? What you talking about who I am, Damani? I'm your wife. No, you not.
She took off a rag. Take out her teeth. Take out her lens, her eye color.
Exactly. And you be like, this ain't this not even who I married. Yes, it is, Damani. This is Jacqueline. Well, you better, no. Just get yourself, make sure it's legit, is who you want. Now, don't get me wrong, these things do happen. Like Nana lost the teeth, but there's things, you see what I'm saying? I lost my eye. God gave me back another eye. You see what I'm saying? These things God has put men into place to do these things. Oh, my coffee. Oh, maybe I can. Let me see if they got, what's the name out here? I don't even think I got no money. Let me see if I got